Hello there. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a new user role in your IntelliServe system to be able to assign roles to new users later on. So the first thing we do once you've logged in, you will click on the People tab and then click on the User Role tab, sub-tab. You'll see the system comes with two standard user roles. One is an administrator, which is generally the first person who signs up for IntelliServe in your business, and then user role as well. These two functions are very similar, except the administrator has got many more privileges than a standard user. Some users in your system, you might want to have very limited functionality, such as a trainee or a salesperson. So let's go ahead and create a new user role for a salesperson. You are required to select the new button to be able to open the feature to create a new user role. Let's give the new user role a name, sales. Be very selective who you give administrative and model editing permissions to. Generally, these are not for just anybody. So we recommend that for a salesperson or a trainee or a bookkeeper, you don't tick those boxes. Go ahead, click Save and Close, and the position profile has been created, or the role has been created, and now we need to assign permissions to the sales function. You'll notice when you click on Type Permissions, there are no permissions or functionality assigned to the role yet. You need to click the New button to be able to create the permissions. There is quite a substantial drop-down list, as you'll see here. It's not necessary to go ahead and select each one of these when you're creating your user role in your organization, such as for a salesperson main function would be to go and canvas for clients. And so we can just type in client, and you'll see that a number of options that are associated with client management appear. We recommend going for or selecting the option that has got the least detail, because it will therefore be connected to the most other relational databases and functions in the system. You want your salespeople to be able to create a new client in the system. That's great. They should be able to read information about clients in the system. They can write new details or edit details about a client in the system. It's advisable not to allow people to delete clients from your system at all. So don't tick that box. And a salesperson should be able to navigate through the list of clients to see if this client has been engaged by anybody else in the past. You've done, you've selected these, and then click Save, and we can create a new feature. So the salesperson should be able to prepare quotes. You will type in quote, and once again, if you don't want to be too specific, select the option that has the least details. A salesperson should be able to create a quote. They should be able to update or write details about a quote. They should be able to read quotes that have been prepared by themselves and potentially other people. Again, not advisable to delete quotes that are in the system, but they should be able to navigate other quotes that are in the system. So we've given the salesperson two main functions. We can click Save and Close. And let's go and have a look at the user role that we've created. So there you'll see salesperson or sales function has been created. We are interested to see what the sales function entails, so we can just click the name sales. And here are all of the details that are associated with the two main functions that we've given the salesperson in the system. Do we want a salesperson to be able to create invoices for a client? That seems like a natural option, so we'll click the edit icon. invoices pre-selected because you've clicked the edit icon. They can create, they can write details or edit, they can read other quotes that are there, invoices rather. We obviously don't want to be deleting invoices from the system, but a salesperson should be able to navigate issues or other invoices. So we can go ahead and click Save and Close. Because we've updated the permission to include invoicing, all other functions that are associated with invoicing now appear. They are not selected to give permission to a salesperson yet. You would have to go once again and edit by clicking on the edit icon. So this is how we go about building the permissions, creating a new user role and building permissions about that function. And as you'll see, once you start unlocking different permissions for a role, so the system automatically brings in other related functions and processes associated with that. Please see the next tutorial video on how to create a new user and link the user role to that new user.